2 Chronicles Chapter 23. In the 7th year, Jehoiada consolidated his position and entered into a covenant with the captains of hundreds, Azariah, the son of Jeroham, Ishmael, the son of Jehohanan, Azariah, the son of Obed, Maaseiah, the son of Adaiah, and Elishaphat, the son of Zichri. They traveled throughout Judah, gathering the Levites from all the cities of Judah, along with the leaders of the tribes of Israel, to come to Jerusalem. In the house of God, a covenant was made between the entire congregation and the king. Jehoiada proclaimed that the king's son would ascend the throne, as the Lord had promised regarding the sons of David. A plan was devised. 1/3 of the priests and Levites would serve as doorkeepers on the Sabbath, 1/3 would be stationed at the king's house, and 1/3 at the foundation gate. The remaining people would remain in the courts of the house of the Lord. Only the priests and Levites, who were consecrated, would be allowed to enter the house of the Lord. The Levites were instructed to encircle the king with weapons in hand, and anyone else who entered the house would be put to death. They were to accompany the king as he entered and left. The Levites and all of Judah followed Jehoiada's instructions meticulously, with each man assigned to serve on the Sabbath according to their rotation. Jehoiada provided the captains of hundreds with spears, bucklers, and shields that had once belonged to King David and were stored in the house of God. All the people, armed and ready, surrounded the temple, from the right side to the left, around the altar and the temple, encircling the king. The king's son was brought out, crowned, given the testimony, and anointed as king by Jehoiada and his sons. The assembly proclaimed, "God save the king!" When Athaliah heard the commotion of the people running and praising the king, she entered the temple to investigate. She saw the king standing by the pillar at the entrance, with the princes and trumpeters surrounding him. The people of the land rejoiced, blowing trumpets and singing praises with musical instruments and choirs. Witnessing this, Athaliah tore her clothes and cried, "Treason! Treason!" Jehoiada instructed the captains of hundreds to seize Athaliah and lead her outside the temple. He warned that anyone who followed her should be killed with the sword, but insisted that she not be slain in the house of the Lord. They apprehended Athaliah and led her to the horse gate by the king's house, where they executed her. Jehoiada established a covenant between himself, the people, and the king, ensuring they would all be dedicated to the Lord. Following this, the people destroyed the house of Baal, breaking down its altars and images and killing Matan, the priest of Baal, before the altars. Jehoiada also organized the roles and responsibilities of the house of the Lord, following the instructions in the law of Moses. Offerings were presented with rejoicing and singing, as David had ordained. Porters were stationed at the gates to ensure that nothing unclean entered. Jehoiada gathered the captains of hundreds, nobles, governors, and all the people of the land to escort the king from the house of the Lord. They entered through the high gate into the king's house, where the king was seated on the throne of the kingdom. The people of the land rejoiced, and the city became peaceful after Athaliah was killed with the sword.